Driven to Compete. Welcome to the channel. Rocking my CP Automotive. If you're in the Harrisburg area, this is Mopar Phil's shop. If you're looking for a great shop to do oil changes, tire rotations, I think he has a body shop. You know, he gets into more detailed stuff too, but you know, look him up. Anyway, just wanted to do a video on some performance and other mods I've done in my 2018 GTI. I'm going to start with the mud flaps because it's a lengthy video. I did it in multiple parts to do the fronts, to show you how to do the fronts, and then of course to show you how to do the backs, installing an OEM mud flap. So I will we'll go ahead and we'll start with that. And at another video, I will talk about the new speed module that I ended up purchasing as well. So, I hope you find the video informative. I appreciate liking it and comments, and you know, if you really are digging the channel, hit the subscribe button. And thank you again for your support. I hope this is a video that you find helpful. So I'm going to start with the driver's side. So this is what you get in the kit. You get a front, and they're going to be smaller. They're notched right here for right here on the body. You get some hardware here. Here's what you're going to need: an angle drill, T20 Torx head. I have that guy because you know you always need a hammer, and a little small Phillips. Instructions say you have to remove the front wheel. I will tell you that that is not the case, because you can remove these screws by just turning the wheel, which I did. You can drill that out with the wheel turned the way it is, just like I did here. Okay, now to get to the one in the back, I'm going to walk around to the other side because the wheels are already turned the other direction, and I'm going to show you that you can actually get to it this way, by going simply jacking up the car and crawling underneath and putting it in. So I'm going to drill it that way. Now I will tell you this, from the back here, there is no way to do the backs without removing the wheels. So we will have to do that for the backs. But anyway, I wanted to show you that's what the fronts are going to look like when they're finished. Hardware is here. And I'm going to go ahead and finish one up and show you what the finish looks like. So if you come at your angle drill like this from in back, you can get to it right like that. So I drilled it, I put that in, and then underneath here there's a spot that needs to be drilled as well, right here. I went ahead and I did that one and put the push pin in right here. That guy right there went in there. So one side's done. I'm going to go ahead and do the other side, and I'll show you just how I'm trying to help you out. So you know, the dealer wanted to charge me $150 plus installation for a job that literally could be 10 minutes aside in the garage. There you have it. That's the finished product. And you know, don't think that you have to pay the dealer to install them, and don't think that you have to remove those front wheels, because it doesn't need to be done. Anyway, we will be tackling the back wheels here shortly. Okay, so we're back. What I've done, I want to show everybody. On your wheels, you got one of these guys. It's just a cover. Okay, so I used a tool like this right here to go in and pull the cover off. When you do that, you need a 17 millimeter. So here's what I'm doing. Okay, laid everything out for you. So you remove these caps first, and then you have a 17 millimeter that you have to take off. Once you do that, you can remove the wheel, set it to the side. And I want to point out to you guys, there are jacking points on these cars. It's important that you use a jacking point And I will tell you this, that this pinch weld here is thicker where the jacking points are at, and you'll be able to tell that. So I've opened this up, and the instructions tell you that you're going to remove the factory screws from in those two spots. You want to keep them. I set them aside because they are slightly shorter, but they want you to reuse some of them. So you can see the new hardware is a little longer. So you're going to put the longer hardware where you took these out. Okay, but excuse me, where you took these out. So what you do need to do though is there's another bolt underneath of here, because you need to have access, because they want you to punch a hole through here, and they give you these caps to use. So I'm going to show you what the caps look like. They give you these caps. I'll give you a side view of one of them. They want you to take the original hardware that you removed, and they want you to reuse that for over in here. Okay, so the let me see here. I can show you. So the idea would be, you're gonna bolt this up. You're gonna have to push these other two holes through, and they give you another spot here. They want you to drill. Okay, they want me to drill this right here. Let me see if I can show it to you in a better way. They want you to, yes, right here. They want you to drill this. I'm not going to, because I don't want to drill my bumper. So I don't believe that you need that to hold that on. But I just wanted to show you everything. So I'm going to go ahead and install it, and I'll show you the finished. So I'm back here, and I wanted to show you guys, there's some fit and finish issues that I wanted to bring to your attention. Do you see that right there? That I'm not really feeling that. There's some trimming that needs to be involved to allow it to fit properly. It's also not allowing to get these lined up that I can punch those out. So I'm going to go ahead and do some trimming, and I'll come back and show you what that looks like. Finalizing my two best friends here, a round file and a straight file. I did work this over, and what I did was, this used to come out on an angle this way, and I kind of have made it that it matches over here, and I gave this just a little bit more clearance. And what that does is that allows this, because this isn't a real, this has got a bit of a edge to it, allows it to lay better, and I think at the end of the day it gives you a much nicer looking installation. Here's what we have. This is what I started with from Volkswagen, and this is where I'm at to get the thing to fit and finish so that this corner doesn't stick up, okay, so that everything looks flush. So I got to tell you, I'm a little disappointed in the quality of the OEM floor mats mud flaps from Volkswagen. And I got to tell you, if you were to take this to the dealer, I can guarantee you they would not take the time to make these fit properly. So I definitely recommend, when you're doing it, to do it yourself, because nobody's going to look after your vehicle like you would. I installed it. These two holes right here are factory screw locations, and I got to tell you, without trimming this up, and I want you to see how nice that fits. Okay, before this stuck way up, so that fits really nice. Okay, gaps, there's no gaps here or anything. I want you to see that. So anyway, without trimming it, you can't get this one right here to line up at all. So you have to do some trimming to get those to line up. And these guys here, they tell you to take a punch of some type, like this, and I punched a hole through, okay, and then they give you these nuts, and they want you to take these nuts here, okay, and they want you to use the OEM screws that you removed from here and here, because the screws they give you are longer to account for the thickness of the mud flap. So you take the OEM screws that are shorter, that I'm pointing to here, and what I did was I punched this through, and I used the Torx head, and I screwed these through, and then I put the nut on the back side. There's a screw underneath here, underneath the bottom here, and I'll show you that as best I can here. there's a screw right there that you have to take out so that it lets you fold the carpet down. And you know, you can get to it. Put the nuts on the back, tightened it from the front. I hand held the nuts. It was fine. Put it all together, and this is kind of the finished product you're going to get. I wanted to show you how that looks. Okay, so from there I'll just put the wheel and tire back on and give you a final look. I put the wheel and tire back on, and I torqued the wheels to, it says 88 foot-pounds. I went to 90, but that's the finished product. That's what it looks like. That's what you can expect. And as I had shown you earlier, there's the front ones. So, what tools did I need to use? Well, I used a jack to be able to lift the car up to do the back mud flap. I had my trusty files. I have a round file and a flat file. I have a punch. I have a T20 Torx, and I have this guy right here that I had talked to you about to pull the covers off the lug nuts to be able to access them. Or actually, I needed a 7. I use a, by the way, not everybody's going to have quite the setup like I have, but it doesn't mean that you can't have a jack and some basic tools. I have a rigid package. I picked it up on Black Friday. And it was like 250 bucks. Gave me a whole bunch of tools, 2 battery packs, the whole 9 yards, charger. So I used my cordless impact, a 17 millimeter deep well, and then I used a T20 bit as well, just because when you're doing stuff where you have to hold with your right hand, you have to be able to work the gun with your left hand to get some of these screws to start. But at the end of the day, and I torqued it. Now listen, you can use a torque wrench. I picked these up, and my cousin Tai, who's selling Snap-on tools, is probably cringing at this video, but these came from Harbor Freight, and I got a whole kit. This one's 90 foot-pounds. These things are phenomenal. When you go to put your wheels back on and need to be to a certain torque setting, you put it on your gun, you connect this to the gun, connect the socket to this right here, and you know what? It will only tighten it to 90 foot-pounds or 80 or whatever's in the kit. Let me show you the kit real quick, and then that way you can see what I'm referring to. Kit comes in this blue case, and you have 65, 75, 80, 90, 100, the whole way to 150. So it's a nice kit, and I think it was 60 bucks. So at Harbor Freight, and I think Pittsburgh Tool makes it. Anyway, for somebody who's not going to use it that often as a hobbyist, it does a great job, and I did verify, and it is 90 foot-pounds with a torque wrench. So hopefully you found the video useful. I shot this video in multiple stages because I started it one evening after work, and I ran into a couple issues where I needed to grab a correct 17 millimeter socket to be able to take the wheels off this Volkswagen to be able to shoot the video for the rear mud flap. And I'm going to be honest with you, I thought this would be very simple in the back. Take the wheel and tire off and mount the mud flaps like the front. It wasn't. The back ones are going to take you some time if you care about the way they fit and the look. If you don't, then just slap them on, just like they would do at the dealer, and call it a day. But me personally, I've got this. It's a 2018 GTI. I've got some videos that I've talked about it. I'm going to show you again. I've done some things to the car just to dress it up. I like those retro stripes on the old GTIs, but I wanted to add a little spice to it. I put a clear brawl on it. I did the piece, and I'll tell you another thing too. These mud flaps are going to rub. So when I had him do the clear brawl, I had him put clear where those were going to go, so that if I ever take them off, there is no rubbing the paint. There's no marks. So that would be another recommendation. But I got to tell you, I was hesitant to put them on, but I live in Pennsylvania, and I'm going to tell you this, that stones, cinders, all that stuff, it will get kicked up and thrown back on the vehicle. So anyway, hey, if you stuck around to watch the entire video, thank you. You know, I continue to ask you to watch, to hit the like button, and to hit the subscribe button so you can stay up to date on all the recent videos. Again, I appreciate your time, and I hope you have a great day.